Welcome to the iRally Power Stage preview for the Rally of Italy. It is the fifth time that we've had the Power Stage in this year's World Rally Championship, and if the Rally of Italy's Power Stage is anything like the Power Stage we saw in Jordan 2 weeks ago, we are in for a cracker. Right, we're 5.5 Ks into the... Sorry, we've got 5.5 Ks to go in the Power Stage. We're about 2.7 Ks in, and look at the surface. It really is very, very sandy indeed. Had a lot of rain here recently. It's Tuesday morning now. The last couple of 3 days, some heavy, heavy rain. We've got, what, 4 or 5 days to go until we get to the running of the Power Stage. It should dry out. The weather forecast is pretty good for the duration of the rally. A little bit cool, round about 19 to 22, 23 degrees. A little bit of a breeze, though. Should dry out quite nicely, but as you can tell, it really is very, very sandy indeed, this Power Stage. We've seen some interesting ones, haven't we, through the course of this year's World Rally Championship. It is a new innovation for 2011. Seems to be working well. We've had 4 already, as I have mentioned. Sebastian Loeb is the man who's making the most of the Power Stage. 8 points he's picked up in terms of final stage bonuses this year so far. What will he do this year? It's going to be an interesting one. Sorry, this time round here in Italy. Oh, hello. That's a bit tough and rough indeed. This section of the Power Stage, by the way, as you can see, it's quite wide, quite fast, quite flowing. It changes, just you wait. We're about to get into a section which becomes very, very technical. The interesting feature here, though, is just how soft it is as we head downhill. The first 2.5 Ks that you didn't see, more or less uphill. This section downhill, look at that view over that arm cove on the left-hand side there. Oh, you don't want to be taking too close a look at that. You want to be concentrating on the line. You can see from the centre of the road here, the rain that we've had, the heavy torrential rain we've had, has in some places done some damage to the surface. That could be quite interesting. Don't forget, this stage is run as stage 18 of the rally, the Power Stage. It is also run as the first stage on Sunday morning, stage 15, 8.2 kilometres long. It's going to be interesting to see the condition of the stage when we get back here for the second pass in the afternoon on Sunday, the last stage of the rally. As I was saying, Sebastian Loeb done rather well on the Power Stage, hasn't he? Mind you, Sebastian Ogier, his teammate, the first man to score 28 points on the round of the World Rally Championship in Jordan just a couple of weeks ago. He obviously took the win there in terms of the main rally, but he took the win in the Power Stage as well. Now, let's have a look at this little hairpin here. Oh, round we go. Oh, on with the power. Whoops, and off goes my camera, and I've stalled it. But there we go. That's my lack of skill. Heading off towards now the last couple of Ks, 3 Ks or so of the Power Stage. This section, very, very fast indeed. One of the features we've got to look out for on this stage, well, you've got to be neat and tidy. It will cut up. We will see some rocks being dragged out. You know, we've seen drivers coming a cropper here in Sardinia in the past, haven't we? Marcus Gronholm a few years ago. Well, Sebastian Loeb in 2007, but he did make a mistake that year. You know, it's been a rally that's been hard on the tyres as well. This kind of stage won't be quite so hard. It's the stages, if you like, to the south of Olbia, where you get down to the bedrock on the second pass. That's where tyre wear becomes a real issue. This one, I don't think tyre wear is going to be such an issue. We've got that new Michelin tyre that we saw introduced very, very successfully just a couple of weeks ago in Jordan. Hardly any punctures at all there. Raikkonen picked up a puncture in the penultimate stage. That was a bit of bad luck for him, but other than that, no real notable punctures in Jordan, and our top crews will certainly be hoping for that this time round. Oh, look at that. You can get a big ditch on the inside. You'll be brave to take a cut there. And these World Rally cars capable of taking all sorts of punishment, all sorts of abuse. Who's going to win this one? Oh, it's a tough one. It really is a tough one. Anyone from... Well, I suppose we can say now 6 or 7 drivers, because we obviously, in this year's Rally of Italy, we're seeing the debut of the new Mini World Rally team. Oh, another tight right here. Here we go. This is interesting. This last section, well, I did that a little better, didn't I? This is different again now. Look at this. Really is a barely used road, this one. Oh, a little bit of standing water still from that heavy rain we've had. Very narrow. Really have to be absolutely precise. You can be brave, but if you mess it up, you get it wrong, all sorts of trouble up here. There's not a lot of room for getting away with it, if you like. Yes, I was saying, the Mini team, what are they going to do here? Are we going to see Danny Sordo and Chris Meek mixing it up in the Power Stage on Sunday afternoon? Well, I sincerely hope so. Certainly the testing seems to have gone well with that BMW Mini. Is the car going to be up to speed with the Citroens and the Fords? Well, I'm not sure. I think the other question is, are the drivers going to be up to speed? It's a long time, 7 months since Chris Meek did a rally. The last one that Danny Sordo did was Citroen Rally GB, what? Oh, geez, that must be nearly 6 months ago now. So both those drivers, I think, will take this very much a learning weekend, and I'll be pleased just to get to the end. It'd be nice to see them though mixing it up when we get here for the power stage. Oh, here we go. This is now getting very interesting indeed. It's quite narrow, it's quite technical, it's quite twisty. It's very soft, very, very soft indeed. I'm really not sure how messy this is going to be by the time we get here for stage 18. I suspect very, very messy indeed. Are we going to see much in the way of boulders? Possibly. You look around, if you can just see at the side of the stage, it's obviously been graded. Some big boulders being pushed aside. They're just sitting there, waiting to catch the drivers, pushing that a little bit too hard perhaps. Small errors can be very, very costly at this point in the rally. Now we go into a series of quite tight hairpins here. Second gear, first and second gear for the World Rally cars down here. Oh, hello, hello, oh, gee whiz. Getting a bit slidey there. Very soft, it really is. The first few stages of this rally, by the way, we go well south of Albia this time. The first time the World Rally Championship has been that far south, about 2 hours south of Albia, and the stages there are quite interesting indeed. They're really very hard and very fast, and they might be quite abrasive, particularly on the second pass, but this, completely different. Just look at how tight and twisty this is. Oh, we're going to just reach for a little bit of handbrake here. Oh, and oh, hello, 1, 2, 3. This will be spectacular from the old helicopter shots. There's a car in front of me. That's a photographer. I've seen him a couple of times already today. Pushing on a little bit, sir, because we're pushing on. We want to get through this stage. Just to give you some idea. Just look on the inside there where it's been graded. You really do not want to get into those ditches. It is very, very nasty indeed. But you're going to have to push on. We saw some spectacular stuff in Jordan, didn't we? Remember that flying finish? There was a 90 right, 80 metres after the flying finish, and 1 or 2 of our drivers knew that they could take extra hundreds, extra tenths of a second by pushing on through that flying finish and not braking really until the very last minute. Now here we go, turning right here. Oh, looking for traffic, no traffic. We're heading now into the last few hundred metres of the final stage of the rally, the power stage of the 2011 rally to Italy, Sardegna. Might be the last time we're here, by the way. Not sure. We're going to come back to Sardinia. We're not going to Italy next year in terms of the World Rally Championship, but there we are. That's box 10. That's the flying finish on the left-hand side, and that was the power stage for Rally Italy Sardegna. You saw it first on iRally. Don't forget to have a look at all our videos on our YouTube channel. That is the iRally YouTube channel. Just put iRally into your YouTube search engine. Have a look at our little snippets from rallies around the world in 2011. I hope you enjoyed this year's power stage for the Rally of Italy Sardegna.